Some people believe that Teofimo, the Takeover Lopez, is the new boogeyman of boxing. Recently, he has called out these fighters in order: Jerron Boots Ennis, Gervonta Davis, then the dessert would be Terence Bud Crawford. Now, Eddie Hearn has recently said that Boots loves the Teofimo fight, but he'd rather unify first. So he's putting Teofimo on the back burner. And some boxing fans believe Teofimo Lopez is the new boogeyman of boxing. I'm here to say that is not the case. And I've been on record saying I would wish one of these guys would just call his bluff and say, yo, I accept the fight. But even if they don't accept the fight, there are three or four other guys that would love to fight Teofimo Lopez. And people forget that Teofimo was offered to fight Brian Norman Jr., who happens to be the WBO champion at 147. If he wins that fight, he would back Jerron Boots Ennis in a corner, and that fight would have to happen. Lopez has said he wants to fight champions, right? Brian Norman's an undefeated WBO champion at 147 that would have catapulted him into a Boots fight, and he did not take it. Now, congrats to Richardson Hitchens on his win over Paro. Hitchens is now an undisputed champion at 140. That would be a unification match for Teofimo at 140. That's another title, a champion he can fight. And then I heard on the Coach Malachi show, and you really can't tell who's telling the truth. Could it be Teofimo or could it be Bill Haney? But Bill Haney said on the Coach Malachi show that Turkey Al-Sheikh offered Teofimo a fight on a Riyadh season card against Devin Haney. And he's talking about he never took $1 million home. I guaranteed he would take $1 million home fighting Devin Haney on a Riyadh season card. And he turned that down, according to Bill Haney. And I get it. Richardson Hitchens is a bad matchup. Devin Haney is a bad matchup for Teo. My thing is, if you're a great fighter, you figure it out. And that's why I say Teofimo was a good fighter, not a great fighter. But what is the excuse for not fighting Brian Norman Jr.? You're moving up to 147. He has the title. He's undefeated. Why not fight him? He's not a peer boxer. It almost feels that Teofimo was clout chasing and calling out fighters that he knows he's not going to get a fight against. And the fighters that will say yes, he avoids. He knows Brian Norman Jr. would have said yes. He knows Hitchens will say yes. And according to Bill Haney, he knows Devin Haney will say yes. So I don't want to hear no crap about Teofimo being a boogeyman. There are plenty of fighters that are out there with titles that would fight Teofimo. He just doesn't want to fight them. And to me, that is not boogeyman status. Now, when we talk about Terence Crawford fighting Canelo, some people, including me, are not an advocate of that fight. Some people believe if they're going to buy into this fight, Terence Crawford has to prove himself at 168. Fight a Caleb Plant, fight a Berlinga, or a McGee. I think differently. I think the fight that would do it for me is if Terence Crawford gets in the ring and fights the William Scull. William Scull is currently the undefeated champion at super middleweight who holds the IBF belt. Now, there were rumors about him rematching Vladimir Shishkin, who he beat for the IBF title, the vacant IBF title, but it's not in BoxRec yet. For me to buy into this fight, be an advocate of this fight, I would have to see Terence Crawford go in the ring in a fight like this. Berlinga, Munguia, none of these guys have a title. William Scull has the IBF title. If Terence Crawford could move up to 168 and beat William Scull for the IBF title, I think some of them, not all of them, I know a lot of the boxing fans will buy into the fight, but I think some of the Canelo fans would have a change of heart if Crawford went to 168 and became a champion. Then it would be cause for a unification match between Canelo and Crawford. Now, some people want to see the fight anyway. The majority of the people want to see the fight anyway. It's going to sell. And as far as we know, Crawford might get the fight anyway. Canelo said he won't begin negotiations until January. In Frank Martin's word, it would add extra to the fight. You have Terence Crawford going to 168, trying to be undisputed for the third time. You would have Canelo going in there, trying to unify the 168-pound division once again. But that's my opinion. You know, a lot of people want to see Crawford against Jermell Charlo, which Jermell Charlo doesn't have anything anymore. He's not even a champion at 154. So why would you fight Jermell Charlo? Fedora and Bachram makes sense at 154 to me because I'm a title guy. And then they talk about Terence Crawford fighting Berlinga and Magia. They don't have any belts. William Scull is the guy he should go after. But that's my opinion, like I said before. But anyway, what are your thoughts? Do you think Terence Crawford should move up to 168 to fight William Scull, and after that, go after Canelo for unification? And by the way, I think Teofimo could beat Brian Norman Jr. I like his chances better against Norman than I do against Hitchens or Haney. But leave your thoughts in the comments below. JBZ, I'm gone.